All right, let me share my screen for you guys so Chris and Kyle can check it out in the Zoom. I just signed up for notifications for my own channel, which has been cool because now I'm getting alerted when I start capturing. So I just got an alert for it, but at least we know it's working. Okay, let me share my screen to you guys. Tell me if that is good. Is that working, Zoomers?
It's moving pretty slow, but...
Is it really? Dang. I wonder... You know, I got the M1, and I swear, it's funny. It, like... I have a system for how I power it up for this now so that nothing else is in the RAM, but something about it, I've never ran out of memory so fast, even though the processor is so great. If you get an M1, max out the memory because there's a different architecture and it sucks it down for some reason. Let me check. I'm just going to do a quick check on that. Yeah, wow. 100 and... Let me see if it can optimize while we're doing this here. How's it now, Kyle?
Still moving really slow.
Okay. Well,
I mean, we don't have to... Chris, do you have the notes, or do you need to see the stream for them?
Oh, yeah, you guys probably don't need to, huh?
Yeah.
No, I mean, as long as the little thing on the bottom with the notes on the bottom is fine.
Okay, great.
We could do my suggestion where we all just mute and then you and I watch the stream, Chris, and then just follow that.
You know, my worry is with that, Kyle, is that I like that idea, and the bigger issue is I'm worried that the stream is not. Are you guys willing to try that today? Chris, how do you feel about doing that today?
Well, I mean, as long as the sound here is not, I don't mind if the bigger video thing is a little delayed. The sound, to me, it's the sound.
Oh, because you just need to hear me and then see the page that's up there. You don't need to see the video moving without being choppy.
I just need to hear that metronome.
Okay, go ahead and mute Kyle because that's a little bit it's starting to feedback loop there. Okay, that's great then. Kyle, then why don't you go from the stream today and mute? Are you able to mute me in Zoom yourself, or like turn Zoom down individually?
Yeah, I can do that.
That way I don't mute for Chris. And then since I've got you out there, can you be my assistant today, doing some recon on the stream and just kind of like, okay, awesome. Yeah, man. How about you just go ahead and interrupt me if the stream is so bad that it's not working? Okay, awesome. Okay, welcome. Yeah, I'm talking to our Zoomer. We've got 2 people in the Zoom room. Chris Sanderson is almost perfect attendance, and he's killing it. And I'm like grateful for him because it's so nice to have drummers in the Zoom room because we can hang and we can talk. Kyle, what is your last name? I'm forgetting. Because I just...
It's Countryman.
Yeah, Countryman, yeah. Countryman. Kyle, I know pretty much from this summer camp, but I did get to go over and meet his family and tune his snare drum up. And their family knows how to live life. It's super fun. Their house is super cool. And but I appreciate you too, Kyle, man. You've been coming every time, and it's just so nice to have drummers in the Zoom. If you want to become a part of like the hang, just shoot me an email, joe.mangus@gmail.com, or go to drum-lab.com, and you can sign up there. I have said this before, but this is a one-man show, so I'm kind of, and I've got a pretty rigorous playing schedule also. I think we have 17 performances in the next 19 days, partly because COVID's opening back up, and so there's a lot of things like park concerts, like local park concerts that weren't happening that all of a sudden are happening, which is great. So if I don't get back to you right away, it's not because I don't want you here. It's just because I didn't get to it yet, but I will. I'm a big believer in just because it didn't get it done this second or right on time doesn't mean you're not going to get it done at all. So I just keep everything on my list, and it all gets done at some point. So if I haven't got to you yet, I will. But please, yeah, I'm gonna reach out to some of my drummer friends too, and hopefully have them in here. I'd like to have a couple people be guests on the actual stream and give feedback, kind of like Greg Odell did. It was awesome because we could hear Greg, but it'd be nice to have a little window to actually see another drummer and watch their hands and stuff. So I'm gonna try to make that happen. If you wanna support the summer camp and the future streams and material after that, just use the QR. Yep. Oh. Hold on one second, you guys. Okay, Do Not Disturb is on my iPad, so I don't get any notifications, although wondering if that was one I needed, because I think it was Tommy Graven, and he might be checking out the stream and wanting to give me some feedback. Oh, okay, yeah. Really? I am on Twitch right now, I think. I think I'm on Twitch. I should be. So check, let me check Twitch real quick to see. Wait, Kyle, what's my Twitch name? Do you remember?
Mangus Drum Lab.
Yeah, it's on Twitch. It's Mengis, Mengis Drum Lab. If you guys haven't noticed, Kyle is my unofficial but soon to be official assistant. He's probably going to be my full-time drum tech, and I'm probably going to end up mentoring him because he's just on it, dude. This guy is going to do just fine in life. Thank you, Kyle.
Just consider me the IT guy.
Totally. Well, that's fine. Yep. IT. I'm happy. That's great. I'll take it. So yeah, Mangus Drum Lab on Twitch, and on YouTube it is. I changed it. If you search Joe Mangus YouTube, I believe it will come up. And then I also have a page on Facebook. But Mangus Drum Lab, the website is www.drum-lab.com. Right now, we're, since it's getting so busy, there's some, for the Venmo, just, I think if your screen's big enough, you might be able to take a screenshot of it, or just, if you're on a computer, just take a picture of it. And then I like this to pretend like it's like being a weather person. Okay, so then the schedule. A lot of changes coming up with the stream because of the gig schedule that I have. So the immediate ones are that this Thursday is going to be at 12:30 in the afternoon. So if you can't make it, just check out the stream later and catch up. I do encourage you to do that one because it's 130 beats per minute, and it's sort of like, once you pass 120, even if it's eighth notes, it starts to feel like it picks up a little bit more. So you don't really want to skip one if you can help it. Unless you've been doing this for a long time. Then you know what you're doing. But so yeah. And then, apologize, I got to make sure this camera is plugged in, or else potential. Yeah. Okay, and then canceled. No session on Saturday. So it'll be today, Thursday at 12:30, and then next Tuesday. And next Tuesday is also going to be at noon. Then Thursday will be at noon. That next Thursday. So we're pretty much moving to noon for the next week. And let me know. The streams are up, but I'm thinking about just doing some proper YouTube videos of each beats per minute. So it's truncated and you don't have to go through all this stuff when you're trying to catch up. So if I can get to that, I will do it. And then it'll hopefully on YouTube be itemized so you can just go to a folder and say, did grid 70 beats per minute, eighth notes, do it, and get out of there. That would be the hope. Kind of want to get my audio a little bit better before I do that. So, but yeah, I will try to get to it. So today we are doing, today's big day. We're at 120. And it is kind of a landmark day because 120 is basically, another way to look at it is that we're splitting and we're going back to July 3rd when we started, but now we're starting at 16th notes. So yeah, eighth notes at 120 today. It's kind of like we're just starting the whole thing today, and that all of up to today was a warm-up to 16th notes. So also 120 is just another good landmark because it is such a common tempo. It's like it's sort of like middle C of tempos, that in the hands it feels real comfortable. Today I do want you to kind of like pay attention to isolating, like from the, try to play from the wrist if you can. But also today we've been pretty like militant about this, partly because at different stages of your playing, you have to work on different things. And when you're beginning, it's really good to isolate. That way you're you're differentiating the stick heights from down here and then up here for the accents. If you are feeling pretty comfortable with that, feel free to incorporate a little bit of this molar stroke. And that is basically just kind of adding like a little bit of this. This isn't something that you would do if you're in last regiment unless you're told to. I don't know how you guys do that, but if you guys, depending on how particular Greg is and the snare drum line is about this stroke, but yeah, usually in a marching situation, these will be written, like that, or you'll decide to all do it together. But like for drum set, this is going to be just something we kind of, it's a stroke we kind of live off of. We're getting a lot of this, like hi-hat stuff is done this way, fast single strokes. You're throwing more energy into the stick that way. So feel free to start doing that. Try to keep your shoulders still kind of isolated and square, and your posture just kind of like, centered, unless you're doing a lean, unless that's part of your thing. That's all good. I don't want to take it away from anybody's lean, so yeah, go, do it. But basically we don't want to be doing this, It's also an art, so there's just room for you to explore and do what you want, but it's nice to have some sort of boundaries around it. Okay, mostly the last thing I'll say about just your technique and stuff is just be intentional about what you're doing. Today, to sort of get out of our hands, let's all maybe prioritize listening to the 16th note, the roundness of the 16th notes as we go. I'm going to switch screens real quick so that I'm just going to go to the 8 on a hand warm up real quick. Yep. Just 1 second here. So, got to get my daughter more water, so I'll do that here in a second. But when we're playing, if we're doing that and we're doing the grid and we're keeping these taps, a lot of times we're not thinking about sound. It can just sound like a typewriter, you know, very like compartmentalized. Like each hit is like, and not round, not smooth. Even if we're trying to focus on the metering and the distance of it being equal, just the feel of it can sound. And I've noticed for myself doing this, it's been great because my hands feel way more open, way stronger at my gigs. Like everything sounds bigger and open around the kit when I go to play. But in these warm-ups, I've noticed it's just kind of like, you know, which is fine. There's, you know, if that's going to sound okay on a Rush record, that type of feel, but not on any kind of a groovy, you know, it doesn't have much groove to it. So maybe today, permission to just kind of let go of the hand technique a little bit and just sort of listen to that nice round groove. I love describing it and hearing it described as an egg rolling because it's not a perfect, you know, it's not a perfect roll. It's like the dip in that egg roll or that phrase can vary. And so ours will be pretty but that's the idea, nice and round. So, yep, let's get started here. Everybody take a second and get warmed up. What I'd like oops, I want the light on there. Okay, good. What I'd like everybody to do first is, if you're playing, while I'm getting my daughter water, I already did this today, just to remind myself, because I haven't done it in a while. Take your stick in your hand and you know, not straight up like the Statue of Liberty, but hold it kind of like here, like you're holding up a flag or a sign. And just from your wrist, just do some rotations. So just work on this for a second to warm up. And kind of do it with both hands. And one thing that you want to look at when you're doing this, you see how my stick's kind of going like that? Well, one thing that you can do to ensure that you're getting like clean hits no matter where you're playing around the drum is try to keep that stick, the tip of it, in the same place. Woo! I'm like watching it on here. Okay, let me look at the stick. Look at the stick and make sure it stays. Try to keep it in the same spot as you twist like that. And stretch. So you're going to stretch back as far as you can, and then you're going to watch the stick, and you're going to go like this. And you're going to go like this. If I had a drum dojo where I was like giving people different colored belts as they got better at the drums, this would be one of the things that I'd probably make like a little device where you had to like do this with the stick inside like a hole or something so that you're not hitting it. There is a spider on the camera. Oh my gosh, I'm not gonna do anything about that spider because it might come back. Okay, 1 second. Do that. Work on that for a second. I'm gonna get some water for Nora. Yeah. Well, I just had to finish the thing that I was working on. Yeah. Everything good? You need more corn doggies? You good?
Yeah, I need more corn doggies.
Okay, here you go.
No.
Here, can you take them in your hand? You got them? Just a handful of corn dogs. You want this? All right. And just by doing that for a little bit, you can feel, you know, the effectiveness of it. How's that going, Chris? What are you getting out of that?
No, I think it's a good stretch. I'm definitely zoning out on it.
Right.
Watching the tips here, you know, to keep them in that in that area. And I think there's a little bit of a balance of also like not, trying to loosen up,
Yeah.
but at the same time stretch out and be intentional about it. But as I try and stretch it, you don't want to, I guess you don't want to tense up too much.
That's the
when you do
balance,
that, so.
right? I mean, isn't that the conversation we're having with ourselves all the time?
The yin and yang of
Yeah, like the amount of tension compared to
tension and yeah.
And it's funny because what never worked for me growing up was when my teachers would say you need to relax, which is good. That's true. When you're playing music, you got to be relaxed. But if you don't have the strength to do what you're doing, you can't be relaxed. That's why you got to do stuff like this and train, because if you don't have the stabilizer muscles to hold what you're doing and relax everything else, then you're just not going to be able to play that way. So I think a better way to say to musicians to be that they need to be relaxed is train really hard so that you're able to be relaxed when you go to play. And then when you go to play, consciously try to be relaxed. But that's a hard thing, it's like, you don't want to just grip it all tight and white knuckle everything. But sometimes if you got to play something at some crazy speed, you might have to just for a second, okay, forget the relax. I just got to get it out there somehow. Okay, let's do some 8 on the hand. Oh, okay. Started a little late, but not that late. Let's start at 70. You ready, Kyle? 1, 2, 1, 2. Here we go. Looking really good, Chris. Okay, great. 80. Chris, your left hand looks like it's improving a lot, bud. That's awesome. Kyle, I would like you to focus a little bit more on this fulcrum right here and this rotation. This. That motion. Less of... And if you got that rotation, try to get a lot of height out of it. Yeah, unless, Greg O'Donnell does this German grip like this, and he gets a lot of power out of that, so that's not wrong. That's totally a grip, so it's harder to get this range of motion going back like this, so try to do that if you can. Okay, coming up, 80. 2, 1, 2, here we go. German. Can I do it? There we go. I don't know how to do that. 2, 1, 2, here we go. Nice and big. Okay, good. Chris, one thing, your rotation looks great. Everything about your hands looks great. I'm wondering if your fulcrum is a little too choked up top. So I would maybe pull the stick back a little bit. You want to maybe look at like 20%, 80% type situation, but you'll be able to feel it. I guess also if you have a Vic Firth stick, getting that thumb on the or right here on the flag is kind of an indicator. But if it's too far forward, you actually gain some control, which is nice. Feels nice. But you're going to lose some power and rebound. Not a rule. If you're just like, not right now, Joe, I'm doing my thing, go for it. But yeah. Okay, here we go. 292. Here we go. There you go, Kyle. Yep. Awesome. 100. 1, 2, 1, 2. Here we go. Okay, awesome. 110. Okay, good. 120 will be done. 2, 1, 2. Here we go. Last time. Okay, great. Okay. Let me see here. All right, going right onto the accent grid. 120. Duck, 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 duck. 8 notes. Here we go. Who's ready? Thumbs up. Good. All right, yeah. Stream going okay, Kyle?
I haven't checked. Let me look.
Okay. All right. Okay, let's just get started here. Axe grid. 1. Oops. You got it, Kyle? We good? Okay, sweet. All right. You can just tell that tempo feels nice. 1, 2, 1, 2, here we go. Man, this grid is working, more control. I hope everybody's feeling like that. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2. Here we go. Okay. 33, 2, 1, 2. Here we go. Sweet. 1, 2, 45, go. All right. Did you get lost, Kyle? A little bit. It's okay. This is kind of where the transitions start to get a little squirrely. So use that if you're a gamer or a skater or something. Use that looking ahead thing. You know, you memorize the pattern that you're on within the first couple, and then you kind of start looking at the next one. At least get a hint. At least check in on the transition. 61, 1, 2, here we go. Cool. So it's like 73, for instance. You can picture it. I always think Star Wars is like just like bum, 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 bum. Kind of try to put yourself in like a. I use like a try to make up like some movie score or something, but try to give yourself internally some musical context and put some music behind it if you can. It'll make it, you know. We'll get it off the page a little bit, basically. 77. Okay. 2, 1, 2. Here we go. All right. 1, 2, 93, go. Man, that one's cool. You guys know I like that one. 97, 2, 1, 2, here we go. One, two, here we go. Hold on. Okay, 1 second. I gotta be a dad for one moment here. Alrighty. Whoa. Jeez. Alright, 129. 2, 1, 2, here we go. Whoops. All right. 1, 2, 145, 2, here we go. All right. Here we go. 161. 1, 2, 1, 2. Here we go. Sweet. 2, 1, 2. Here we go. Yeah. Hang in there, buddy. You're doing good. 1, 2, 1. Oh, we're on the home stretch. All right. So for these, I just want to say, whenever we get to these home stretches, they're the easiest ones to read and the hardest ones to make sound musical because it's just so repetitive. So what you want to try to do through this whole thing is try to make it intentional, and musical sounding. If you're on a snare drum, if you ever played snare by yourself, it's hard to make a snare drum sound musical, especially when you're playing these types of things. When there's a lot of accents, you know, it's easier because you have more. But if it's just like, it's so hard to make little, like, easy things like that sound good on a snare. So what I'm trying to say is, where the other ones, the reading's harder on those last few, and those seem like the hard ones, really this is the hard page, because this is the hardest to make sound good. So, alright, here we go. Oops. I'm not going to skip over it. Not after all that talk. Alright, 193. 1, 2, 1, 2. Here we go. Oops. Cool. Kind of got to get into character a little bit to make these things really pop, you know? All right. 1, 2, here we go. Like Peter and the Wolf. Woo! Cool. You can just hear the music though. There was a song that ended like this, just like took its time. I mean, you get the idea. That's cool. I mean, it can be if you make it, you know. So yeah. Good job, everyone. Axe grid completed. I forgot to do the congratulations. Sorry about that, but 120 unlocked. So good job, everyone. All right, Diddles. Chris was making fun of me because I'm drinking coffee at. I mean, what, Chris, you weren't making fun of me. I shouldn't say that out into the universe because that's not exactly what happened. I'm embellishing, and that's not fair. Goes along with the coffee though. Chris was mentioning that it might be a little too late for coffee. It's true, but my family always, it's like common that we'll drink coffee at 9 p.m. It's just like we'll eat dinner and then the dessert, and then we're just like, my mom does, both my parents do it, and it's just like, I like that late night coffee.
I'll do that like at a fancy meal, like when my family gets together or something like that, or if we go out for a real fancy meal, But
that, you know what? Yeah, that makes sense. Just not on a Tuesday. like, dude, it's an average day. Like, don't be doing the 9 o'clock coffee on a regular day.
For me, I'm only drinking coffee if it's in the morning.
Yeah.
I might forget about my coffee. Drink it at like 11, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah, you got the like half cup of cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad. What?
During the heat wave, I did drink a cold coffee. That was a lot better.
I know cold coffee is nice on a hot day. That's for sure. I like that cold brew. All right. Diddles. Same deal, it's like, let's just make them sound good. What's the tempo? So it's going to be, I don't know, if you haven't done diddles before, this is going to start to feel pretty brisk. So just remember, if you can just remember that, like, when it's all put together on a page or in a grid, it can feel a little bit like, oh my gosh, there's a lot to do. But really, if you can just remember that it's, you know, it's really about walking up to a drum and just going, can I do this? And how, you know, you can usually, anybody could do that pretty fast, you know. Might feel a little weird with your left hand, but you can still do it. So it's all about the fact that we can usually do these things isolated, and being a drummer is kind of about taking those things and then putting them into context and really being able to perform them. So that's what this is. So try not to put it can be a mental game a little bit. So try to take the sort of the weight off of those diddles. Just remember they're nice and easy. Bop, 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 bop. We're just really cool and chill hitting 2 instead. Bop, bop. All right. Or if you're dependent, you can, you know, whatever you're doing. Okay, here we go. Bob Ross. You know, however you want it. Okay. Yeah. All right, come on, Kyle. I'm counting on you. 2. No, I'm counting on you to play diddles, not the stream. 1, 2. 1, 2. Here we go. Good job, you guys. Tradish. I'll try some tradition. 1, 2. Here we go. Awesome. 1, 2. 1, 2. Here we go. Okay, good. So on like 41, you can think of it this way. If you want to make it sound nice, kind of like, I guess like this. Let's see. Ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba. You're hopping. You're skipping through the woods, just like. Ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba. Then the second one, 145, those are pickups. And it helps to kind of think of it as that gallop. Like 100% full on, think of a horse, you know? Okay, moving on. 1, 2, here we go. Okay. 1, 2, here we go. 1, 2, here we go. Typo at the end there. I apologize about that. 2, 1, 2, here we go. One, two, here we go. Two, 1, 2, here we go. Two, 1, 2, here we go. Whoops. Okay. Broke my concentration for a second. It got the best of me. 141, go. Oops. 145. 1, 2, 1, 2. Here we go. One, two, here we go. Here we go. Awesome. Getting into the 5 strokes. 173. 1, 2, here we go. Dang, those are good. 1, 2, here we go. Almost done. Got to do 201 over again. Those ones, you got to know ahead of time that when you get to those, when you got to play those doubles in a row, take some anticipation because that's got to come out full. I don't know if you heard mine, but those are pretty weak. Like, they're just kind of like, yeah. So just give those your attention. So 201. 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh, hold on. Something happened to my computer for a second. Okay, here we go. 201. 1, 2. Huh? 10 minutes. Yep, 10 minutes, and then we'll play. Yep. 1, 2, 1, 2. Here we go. It's like if you don't look at this, and we just all need to do that probably. Yep. Thank you, Nori. I got my my alien with me here. Okay, good. We need those open rolls. It's like on 201, the first 4 eighth notes. That's your riding skateboard. Those diddles, it's one word or one whole sentence. You got to kind of like treat it that way as one big thing. Oops. So just give it, you got to give it energy coming into it. Okay, good. Oops. Okay, good. Same thing. Okay, we get another shot at it. Front end. 1, 2, here we go. Same thing. Yeah, all the way to the end. Open roll coming up. No page turn. Here we go. Sweet. All right, good job. Just 2 minutes over. That's not too bad.
That 10 minutes is on.
So it's almost done.
Yay.
Okay, just give honestly.
3 minutes.
I would say 5 more minutes.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, thanks everybody. 1/16 at 120. So coming up, we're almost to 16th. So next on Thursday it's gonna be like this. I wonder if I was at 125. No, I was at 120. And now we're starting to transition to some fingers. So some push-pull. You might, I mean, maybe. Everyone's different, but. So between now and then, practice your diddles. Get some working on them just so that you can keep up. You don't want to, fall behind because it's about to get fast. Okay. Bye. Bye. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for doing it. Oh, wait, one more. Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Yep. Bye, Chris.
Have a good evening.
You too.
Bye.
Bye, you guys. I can't remember what the other thing was, so we'll just get to it next time. Okay.